Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Naruto is trained by the first and second Hokage. Thumbnail by marx spade, a little bit of a new style, and honestly I dig it. So yeah, now, in this one, basically, I'm going to go over how the two Hokage can train Naruto. So, Naruto is still bullied, and when he's 5 he runs off into the forest, and there's a break in the Konoha gate made by some Hidden Cloud Shinobi, but those Hidden Cloud Shinobi had died and didn't have a chance to use the break. Eventually vines grew around it, and Naruto kind of thought it was just forestation, so he ran out. But now, onto how the Hokage, on how the first two Hokage are still alive. When Tobirama fought the Golden Silver Brothers alongside their whole fleet, in the middle of it, he's able to use a Shadow Clone to escape because he was on the brink of death. But he already made Hiruzen Hokage, and he decided that the village may be better off without him, as he deemed himself weaker than Hiruzen and Hashirama. He thought he was weak as Kage, and he was useless. So in an aggressive state, he leaves wishing Konoha the best, and moves to the old Senju compound. The Senju compound, let's say there's like a small camp nearby. Tobirama was too weak to make it to the whole compound, so instead he just stayed in camp. Camp wasn't too far from Konoha, but it was outside of the sensory range. And, well, when Naruto ran away, he ran to that camp. This one, Tobirama is in his 90s, maybe 80s, like late 80s, mid 90s. And, well, Tobirama got lonely, and, well, began perfecting the reanimation jutsu to make his brother. He wants to do it using a bit of his own DNA and a mixture of wood infused with chakra. These were things that he remembered his brother by, and fueled by memories, and something his brother had, which would be Senju chakra, wood release, and, well, DNA. They shared their brothers, they shared DNA. It worked, and I was able to reanimate Hashirama. Hashirama kept his brother company, and was actually able to fuel chakra into him slowly. But Tobirama spent years doing this, so by the time Naruto had arrived at the Senju camp, Hashirama's only been around for around 1 year. But yeah, and Hashirama was able to actually make seals Tobirama was able to make seals all around the camp, so Hashirama's chakra didn't leak out of it. And, well, no one ever found them. When Naruto walked into the seal, walked through the sealing barrier, he just kind of sat down in camp and ate some food that Tobirama had made but forgot. But maybe when he heard loud crunching, he saw Naruto. He's like, "There's a kid here," and realized the kid looks a little not familiar, but well, he was wearing an Uzumaki shirt. Uzumaki shirts aren't really too common in Konoha, so either Naruto's a member of the Uzumaki clan or found a really rare shirt. But Hashirama had said by Shadow Sensei's chakra, he's the Naruto Cherokee and an Uzumaki. And, well, the chakra felt a little familiar, like Mito. And then this one, basically, Kushina is Mito's niece, and, well, that would make Naruto Mito's, I guess, kind of like, I'd say just great-grandson for some reason, or great-grandson, not great-great, but just great-grandson. And Hashirama did actually put that together after a bit with Tobirama's help. And so Tobirama and Hashirama approach Naruto. Naruto's a little nervous, like, "Oh, sorry, was this your food? Oh, my bad." Tobirama's like, no worries. And he talks to Naruto. Now, eventually Hashirama can't help but, like, leak out that Naruto is basically technically his grandson, or his great-grandson. And with that, they leak that they are the first two Hokage. Naruto's a little concerned, thinking that they're lying, until Tobirama talks about what happened. And, well, Naruto, he doesn't know anything about history, so he can't really prove them wrong. But when he does when Tobirama hears about how good Hiruzen's doing for the village, Tobirama's like, and I guess that he did do better than me. So yeah. Now with this, Tobirama asks about Danzo, but all Naruto says is that basically Danzo doesn't like him. Naruto did hear about Danzo, like a certain person named Danzo, leaking information about him being the Naruto Cherokee, and that made his life hell. Even told that to Tobirama and Hashirama. They couldn't believe that was the Danzo they knew. So it was very disappointing that Danzo made this innocent little boy's life hell. But Tobirama will go with Naruto to look at the hidden leaf, and Hiruzen didn't really. Danzo was able to basically convince Hiruzen that Naruto leaving doesn't matter. He just says, all we know is that he can't leave the land of fire. So as long as he's still in the land of fire, we should not be concerned. And the best Jay-Sensei needed to confirm that Naruto's very close to the hidden leaf. So Hiruzen's like, alright then, as long as he's near the hidden leaf, doesn't really matter. Plus, if you were to control the Nine-Tailed chakra, be taken over the Nine-Tails, well, he can stay out there. He could learn how to do his own thing. So yeah, basically just it was a mixture of genjutsu plus his own inner thoughts being brought out. And Jiraiya told about this, but what Jiraiya's lied to, basically. And well, there's sneakily put genjutsu in there. This genjutsu doesn't really work on Jiraiya, but it almost did. But it did affect Jiraiya's train of thought, and basically what it was is that Naruto left the village because he wanted to control his power on his own. He thought he didn't need the academy, so started to train on his own. And well, technically it wasn't wrong, but it wasn't right. But yeah. Now, eventually with this, Tobirama and Naruto, they look at the hidden leaf. Hashirama couldn't really go with them because his chakra would be too great and be sensed. But just sort of look at the Hokage faces. He sees Minato's face, and eventually at night he sneaks out and grabs a picture of the fourth Hokage, and is immediately able to tell that basically Naruto is the fourth Hokage's son. So after around a week of sneaking into the hidden leaf, he robs a lot of scrolls about the the fourth Hokage, and writes down every single thing he can. Eventually he shows all this to Naruto, and Naruto's like, "So I'm the son of the fourth Hokage." Everyone would nod, saying, "Yep." And also, since you're the nicest in Cherokee. Naruto was told about that, but Naruto's like, so what? So I'm the nicest in Cherokee, why does that matter? And then Naruto at this point is actually in disbelief that these two are still around. Like, these are some of the strongest shinobi in the world to ever exist. Like, you're talking to them so calmly. And Naruto doesn't know who they are. They told him. Basically, everyone was like, well, you want to be Hokage. Being Hokage runs in your family, so we're going to train you to be the best Hokage. Hashirama will focus on training Naruto with his abilities and bring out his chakra. Basically, Hashirama focuses on ninja abilities. Tobirama will focus on his brain. Basically, mental training, genjutsu training, sealing jutsu, all that stuff. So sealing, kenjutsu. No, not kenjutsu actually. So sealing jutsu, use intelligence. Basically, everything that isn't ninjutsu aside from sealing jutsu. You saw all of that from Hashirama and Tobirama. Then we go for fast forward around 5 years. Naruto's around 10 years old, and his chakra is already surpassing the 9 tails. And you learn how to summon out at least 3 tails cloak. And plus, with intelligence, he's already smarter than most Jonin. If you're smarter than Naruto, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, so eventually Hiruzen would go check up on Naruto, and Tobirama and Hashirama were hiding. But what Hiruzen sees is basically just Naruto summoning a 3 tails cloak. And Tobirama will learn how to knit, and Tobirama is still alive somehow, not somehow, but Senju are known to have a long life force, I guess, and that was able to kind of help him in life. Pause real quick. So Tobirama was able to somewhat hang on into life with the help of Hashirama, his chakra, and being a Senju, having a long life force. Yeah. But Hiruzen would see Naruto using the 3 tails cloak, and he basically trying to summon a 4th tail. Hiruzen immediately tries to stop Naruto along with his Anbu, but Naruto look at him, expressing the cloak, saying, "Oh man, you're here." They're all shocked that Naruto is doing this of his own accord. Well, not all of them, but Tobirama and Hashirama are the ones that aren't surprised. Anytime Naruto goes out of control, Hashirama handles it pretty easily. But yeah. Now, this leads to basically just like Hiruzen being surprised with Naruto's training, and Naruto would say that this is a Senju camp. So he was able to actually get a little bit smarter by analyzing some battle tactic plans that they had here, and was able to help his intelligence greatly, and he's also pretty much a tactical genius. Hiruzen the next day would come and give Naruto a series of tests. And because Naruto's claiming he's a tactical genius, he was kind of being not a jerk, but just wanted to mess with Naruto by trying to prove him wrong, and gave Naruto every test he would need to graduate the academy. Basically, every test from him entering the academy to the test that the older students would need to graduate. He does all this in a matter of an hour and passes. He's back to Hiruzen, and Hiruzen is just in utter shock. So yeah. Now, as soon as Hiruzen realizes that almost every single question correct, he turns in Iruka, and Iruka's like, oh, so Naruto's a graduate now. Hiruzen would then come around an hour or two later with a headband to give it to Naruto, and Naruto hands it back to Hiruzen, saying he doesn't want to be Shinobi quite just yet. This confuses Hiruzen a little bit, but Naruto would say he'll become a Shinobi when he can at least do 7 tails. Hiruzen's a little nervous, but he agrees. But now, fast forward 2 years when Naruto's 12. When he's 12, Tobirama would die of old age, and Hashirama has around 2 months left of just training Naruto. And so once he trains from like the first 1 month before Tobirama dies, Naruto's training with wood release began. Naruto already had enough chakra to compare to a tailed beast, and already overpowered one, or can overpower one. So now he wants to teach Naruto the ultimate jutsu to suppress one. It can suppress and defeat a tailed beast. Wood release. Naruto can do it, but after around 3 months, with one of them being Tobirama's death, other 2 or 3 being just Naruto learning. By the time he already can do simple wood release, and he eventually headed back to the Hidden Leaf. When he gets back to the Hidden Leaf, he walks in, and he goes to his old apartment. It's in shambles. No one took care of it because old villagers trashed it one night after hearing that Naruto was gone. But Hiruzen asked Naruto how his progress with the Nine Tails went, and that's when Naruto said he can summon all nine tails without transforming into a 9-tailed fox. He showed Hiruzen, and Hiruzen was pretty impressed. And Naruto displayed his tactical intellect. As with Hashirama, he wasn't getting dumber. In fact, he was getting a little bit smarter, but not on paper, but with strategies in battle. So now he's put on Team 7 still. Well, no, I have a better plan. Naruto is put on a different kind of team. He's put on an Anbu squad. Anbu squad is put in involves Kakashi, but on this team there would be Sasuke, Shikamaru, Kakashi, who's a leader, Yamato, who's vice captain, and Shino. This is the Anbu squad. This Anbu squad, there's some of the smartest in the academy. Ino needs to work with Choji for the Inoshika trio. Shaku will teach them how to work together. Shikamaru's already ahead of them both, so he will not be on their squad just yet until they around a week before the training exams. When they're doing missions, that's when Shikamaru gets to bond with them. But this group is mainly a group for tactical geniuses. And Naruto already has decent regeneration factor and can use the Nine-Tailed Fox chakra to heal people. He said it works out pretty well. He used it on himself and on animals. In reality, he used it on Tobirama whenever Tobirama was a little too clumsy for his old age. But now this team proceeds to just basically do random missions. Houston will assign them B and N rank missions, but Naruto will lead these missions basically just by here's what you should do, and here's how it should be done. From the battle strategies, no one outmatches them in the Hidden Leaf, not even Hiruzen. Tobirama and Hashirama were able to give Naruto intellect that he didn't even thought was possible. When they've observed many shinobi battles, so Tobirama has at least. They went from formal shinobi battles all the way from just primitive battles, so to say. This was before any shinobi village was allied. These were even techniques used against the Uchiha when they were a little bit at their peak. So these techniques were kind of outdated, but they worked a lot better than current strategy sometimes. If the strategy ever failed or wasn't all that was needed, Kakashi and Shikamaru made adjustments to it. And not just smarter than Shikamaru, it's just actually, no, he's not. Him and Shikamaru are rivals with intelligence. But, yeah. Now, eventually, Naruto would end up just keep doing missions up until something for Land of Waves. It's been around 3 months. Sasuke was able to awaken a Sharingan. Shikamaru is able to master Shadow Release because all he really does is just train. Train and sleep. Well, Naruto, he had a part-time job, and then he's not doing missions, which is just working at Ichiraku. He has nothing else to do. Shikamaru's busy hanging out with Shikamaru, not Shikamaru, but he's busy hanging out with Ino and Choji, and Asuma, since he's kind of their team leader. And then, Shino, he's kind of just busy trying to master the taijutsu of his clan, but, also Kurenai chimes in a bit, because Hinasa's on her team. But Sakura, basically Asuma's team has Sakura instead of Shikamaru, and Sakura and Ino get along pretty well now. But Kurenai occasionally tags along along missions for them because, well, they get to do high rank missions. They get to do straight C rank missions. But for D ranks, well, they don't need that many people. On our team, they've done 1 D rank, 40 C ranks, 100 B ranks, and 12 A ranks. So yeah, and Naruto's hair it's basically like platinum blonde on one side and completely brown on the other side. And well, that's just a mixture of influence. Plus, he died. Like his hair was already turning a lot more like lighter blonde, but it would still be obviously blonde. Well, his hair, just because of platinum blonde now, looks white. But he dyed his hair to finish off the white. And plus, well, he carries a sword. Basically, like kind of wears what he does in the Naruto last movie, but he has a sword with him. And he has wrist guards, gloves, headband. His hair's a lot longer. His hair's around the same length as Minato. And well, he has basically the same shirt as he has in Naruto, the same attire. But he has a sword, has gloves, shinobi headband, longer hair, colored hair, and well, carries a giant scroll on his back. And well, his sword kind of is just his scroll is what he carries, but he can transform it into a sword that actually works, or he stores a sword inside it. It's like let me make sure I finish real quick. So Trump had that giant sword, but also had like a regular sword. Like you can see that right here, he had a regular sword, but also that just gigantic blunt one. So yeah. Now, Naruto has basically uses a small sword occasionally, but when he's getting serious, he uses the giant blade. Sasuke also picked up the ability of using a sword. Well, the engine and Naruto cycle is already being broken. Naruto and Sasuke are really good friends. Yes, Sasuke and Naruto don't hang out a lot, but Sasuke just, well him and Naruto got pretty close. But now we go to Land Wave's mission. This mission is a little up to Sasuke and Sakura, as Naruto's still in the Anbu, but doesn't really go on missions that much. He mainly formed all the strategies, writes down sealing ninjutsu, but he does say that he'll write down sealing ninjutsu if they're not used for deadly attacks or interrogation that will lead to someone dying. Now, this mainly leads to the seals only being used by Hiruzen Zanbu, Kakashi, and other people, but Kakashi doesn't really use them too much. But yeah, so one day, Naruto's at work when Hiruzen would approach Naruto and say Kakashi sent an SOS, but strictly for Naruto. Now, this led to Teiuchi and Ayame saying that Naruto can head out, but he does have to head to work overtime. Naruto agreed, ran out, using transmission jutsu, and his ninja gear appeared. He always wears his ninja gear, well, after he washes it, of course, but he just transforms it into the Ichiraku attire. But then, you see he got his bag, transforms that into the scroll, and keeps running until he reaches the battlefield. And he's already faster than sound pretty easily, so finding Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke was pretty easy, I mean. But yes, eventually, Kakashi is about to be slashed by the Executioner's Blade, and suddenly, the attack is blocked, and the Executioner's Blade sent flying into the air. Haku's the only person that was able to fast enough to track Naruto, besides Sasuke. Sasuke is just fighting Haku pretty easily. Like, Sasuke was able to sense him, and Sasuke's just using his kunai, just kind of twirling it in the air to block Senbone. So yeah, Haku isn't really standing a chance, and it's a mastered Sharingan Sasuke. Well, mastered first only Sharingan. Yeah, but eventually, he saw Naruto about to stab Zabuza in the back, but he stops short because he saw Haku try to get in the way. Well, Haku realized that Naruto saw saw him coming. Haku's palm struck right in the chin, being knocked out. And with that, Haku's kicked right towards Sasuke. Sasuke arrests Haku, and Zabuza and Naruto begin fighting. Naruto's using his normal style katana, and well, that's because he's not really serious against Zabuza. And Sasuke and Sakura know that. Not Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke and Kakashi know this. Zabuza does as well, because he's able to tell that Naruto's holding back. He's already pretty stronger than Zabuza physically, while holding back. Eventually, Zabuza would demand, and would say, "I demand you go all out. I'm an S-class shinobi. You're just some damn brat." When Sasuke, Kakashi, and Naruto all chuckle, and Sasuke says that he's basically a Jonin, the Hidden Leaf, so is Naruto, so is Kakashi. And well, it's not a lie, they've been classified as Jonin because they've been on Anbu Black Ops. And they all say this out loud, shocking Sakura and Zabuza. He was fighting 3 Anbu Shinobi, basically. And yes, Kakashi feels the weakest one, Kakashi says no, he's waiting for Naruto to arrive because he didn't want to ruin the battle for him. Tazuna was kind of shocked too. He ridiculed Sasuke and Sakura and Kakashi, but he didn't realize the two of them were Anbu elites. But Kakashi does say that Naruto's the stronger one of them all. He's a strategist, their healer, everything. But Naruto would handle using one hand, with shocking Zabuza, because he only knows Haku can do that. Suddenly, a giant wooden pole shoots up and hits him right in the chest, and him flying into a tree. Now this shocks Kakashi and Sasuke. They did some digging, and they were able to find out about the wood release, or Kakashi already knew about it, so Sasuke was the one doing digging. Well, he's shocked to see that Naruto can use it. Zabuza is detained, and well, they go to the hidden. They go not the hidden, but the land of waves. They get there, Zabuza and Haku are interrogated, and well, not able to basically make a jutsu for them to only tell the truth, or they're going to be electrocuted. Zabuza eventually does it because it's not going to kill them for a while, but it hurts like hell. So yeah, for an hour being shocked, he tells them everything, and it works. So yeah, now with this, Kakashi actually volunteers to go attack out of space, and this one Naruto would nod, and Kakashi goes and does it. Well then Sasuke would teach Sakura chakra control, and Naruto begins bonding with Zabuza and Haku. So yeah, Sasuke proceeds to teach Sakura a multitude of things. Naruto proceeds to just train Haku and Zabuza. Don't really need training, but he just teaches Haku different ways to use his senbon, and teaches Zabuza how to use the exchangers blade differently. So yeah, when Kakashi arrives, he's holding bundles of money, and gives half of it to the village. Now this is more money than they had before Gato, so they appreciate it a lot. Now this mission took a total, basically it took around 13 hours. Well, the mission was supposed to take a week at most. So they're pretty impressed, and Team 7 leaves. But as they're leaving, they get to the bridge, and a few Gato's men were there. Gato was killed by Kakashi because he tried to stab Kakashi in the back, and Kakashi swung around with kunai, hitting him in the neck with it. Kakashi is definitely killing. None of this Naruto, but Kakashi really just went to slash Gato's eyes. That's really it. But Gato's a little bit bigger than Kakashi anticipated, so ended up hitting him right in the neck. But yeah, all of Gato's men were on the bridge, but suddenly Shensen on his throne, and in Haku's voice, Haku would say, Senbon clone Jutsu. And all of Senbon multiply, killing all of Gato's men immediately. Gato was dead, but his men still wanted the money. Yes, so they're all killed, and not to finish the bridge using Earth Release, and they just painted it, so yeah. But as the men are cleared off the bridge, the paint is cleaned up again, and Team 7 heads back to the Hidden Leaf with Zabuza and Haku in tow. Now, Zabuza gave all the information he could on the hidden mist, and Ibiki didn't torture him. Naruto just told him to steal, and Ibiki did it. Now, Ibiki realized this made his job a lot easier than finding new ways to torture people, but it was a lot more fun using torture. So just occasional slaps and punches to the face did it. So eventually, we go to Naruto, Sasuke, and Shikamaru, Yamato, and Kakashi. They want to do a mission. Wait, no, Sakura. Naruto, Shikamaru, Sasuke, and Shino. Kakashi and Yamato, they're going to do one more mission before the Chunin exams, but they have a new teammate, Sai. Now, Naruto does say that he actually may drop out of the Chunin exams, just because, he doesn't want to take them. He already offered to be a Jonin before the exams. So they actually may let Sai become a Chunin. This is when Sakura would walk in her apartment, because that's where they meet. Well, not an apartment, but it's more basically just like a base. Naruto revealed a secret spot that was in Hashirama's head, basically just full of just old scrolls and history about the Senju clan. Now, Naruto can use a lot of the scrolls because it was wood release, so Hyuga had no problem with Naruto living there. But only his teammates knew where he lived. And Sai, Naruto removed the seal on his tongue, so he didn't have to report to Danzo without dying. But Danzo doesn't know Sai's tongue seal was released, so he can't reveal where Naruto lives. He says that he says that he lives some random spot in the village. But they meet in the woods outside, not on the side, but on the outskirts of Konoha. But yeah, now as he talks to them, Sakura would knock on the door. They open it, and Sakura would say that she'll overhear the conversation. She says she'll drop out of the tuning exams. She'd be dead weight at this point anyway, and that she could use more training from Sasuke. And then Naruto asks if she's sure, but she says yeah, she's sure she could use a lot more training. So this news is real to Kurenai because Kakashi already asked her, but she said no because Sakura would be training in tuning exams, but now she knows she's not going to because she's not strong enough yet. So with this, Kurenai agrees to train Sakura alongside her team. Sakura learns a bit of taijutsu from Hinata, but Sakura points out some flaws in her taijutsu. So yes, Sakura isn't a taijutsu expert, but she's smart enough to actually know what can be improved. Pause real quick. Alright, so Sakura is smart enough to point out some things that can improve the taijutsu, but it would not be full Hyuga style taijutsu. Now, Hinata has a lot against this, but Sakura is able to, well, she's a little bit smarter, not a little bit, she's smarter than everyone on her team by a lot. So with this, she then says that, not on her team, but on that team, she basically points out that she'd impress Hiyashi a lot more if she invented her own style of taijutsu with improved or altered Hyuga style taijutsu. Hinata liked that idea, and Kurenai didn't admit it was good. She even gave Kiba some tips. Well, she will use a mixture of Hyuga style taijutsu already with a mixture of Uchiha, Nara, and basically just Naruto and Kakashi style taijutsu with a mixture of Arame clan. So that makes one of the top taijutsu users already. So yeah, Naruto's one of the best ones in the village. He already outmatches Rock Lee easily. But Naruto, the title of Rookie Year was actually shared between Naruto and Sasuke. Because, well, no, it's Naruto. He graduated 2 years earlier than everyone. So, yeah, he's still the he's the rookie of the generation. That's what he's titled as, the rookie of the generation. Sasuke's rookie of the year. Naruto's rookie of the generation. But yeah, now Naruto eventually is able to he's able to just train with Sasuke, Shino, and Sai. He trains Sai to be a little more emotion filled, and the way he does this is kind of developing a seal and genjutsu at the same time. Basically, what it does is just release a lot of chemicals inside his brain that would actually bring out his true feelings and emotions, and all of Sai's memories of his brother. Then Sai is able to finish his journal and starts a new one for his shinobi team. But now we go to the tuning exams. Naruto still looks how he does in Naruto the Last, but his hair is just longer and different colored. Plus he has a giant scroll on his back. Now, Team Kurenai walks in as the hidden sand thing. That doesn't really happen, because Konohamaru mainly sticks with his big bro Naruto. Naruto and Konohamaru still get along pretty well. Just Konohamaru is a lot more respectful to Naruto, because Naruto did say that he doesn't want to be Hokage, or that Konohamaru shouldn't want to be Hokage just because it's a high title and power. It means protecting the hidden leaf. And Naruto does not care about becoming Hokage. He just wants to make sure the village is safe. They make Konohamaru respect Naruto a lot more, even Ebisu. So, Mugi and Udon and Konohamaru, they train constantly, just so they're strong enough to make sure the village is safe. Yeah, so Konohamaru, Udon, Mugi, they train a lot constantly, and not just to give them a scroll that would help them with chakra control. And Mugi did it first, then Udon, then Konohamaru. They gave Konohamaru's secret scroll for Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto already has every single scroll, every single jutsu in the scroll of Forbidden Seals, I guess. There's a lot of those jutsu in there are from Hashirama and Tobirama. So all those jutsu would go straight to Naruto. So that leads to Naruto basically having a few hidden jutsu, including Flying Raijin, reanimation jutsu, who we're saying is in there, but Naruto doesn't know that. But you heard he's Flying Raijin, reanimation jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, Wood Release Jutsu. He hasn't mastered Wood Release, but memorized every single jutsu that there is to it. Because of Hashirama. So, yeah. Now, Naruto. Now, back to the team, or just each team's description. Naruto just looks like he does in Naruto lost the giant scroll on his back. Sasuke looks how he does in Boruto, actually, just minus the weird hair. But he uses a sword as well. Sasuke chooses this attire because he thinks it looks a little more formal, but also shows that he can kick someone's ass pretty easily. And he has his 2-to-1 Sharingan. Then, well, Sai, he looks how he does in Boruto as well. And acts the same way, too. And then, with Shino, well, he doesn't look how he does in Boruto, because he looks like utter trash. But Shino looks how he does in Shippuden. So, yeah. Then, Ino just looks how she does canonically. Kiba looks how he does canonically as well. But he's a lot stronger. But now as they walk in, Rock Lee immediately kicks at Naruto and Sasuke, but Sasuke's already gone, and Rock Lee would realize he's already in the air. Neji didn't even see it, but if you can estimate, Naruto just very swiftly hit him in the chest fast enough and light enough to not even harm Rock Lee. Rock Lee's in the air and immediately put in a headlock by Sasuke. Rock Lee's on the ground, he's being choked out, and Rock Lee can't pry Sasuke's arm off. Sasuke is just literally just that strong. Eventually, my guy just tells Sasuke that Rock Lee loses, and Rock Lee shocked like king. How did he get in the air? How was I in the headlock? What happened? And my guy said, Naruto hit him soft enough, but fast enough to send him flying into the air, and Sasuke grabbed him. Naruto holds his hand out, and Rock Lee had asked Naruto to do it again. Naruto does it, and Rock Lee realizes that there's not really any pain or feeling to it. It's just a really fast palm strike. But Naruto then said, it's a mixture of wind release and sheer taijutsu. He showed us Rock Lee as was scale palm, but on a very low scale. Rock Lee's very impressed, and told Naruto if he used ninjutsu, he wanted Naruto to teach him to it. If he had enough chakra, he wanted Naruto to teach him that. And Naruto said he would most definitely do it. But yeah. Now, with this, the Chunin exam starts with the whole test. Naruto's able to answer every single question in question 10, because it's kind of like a trick question. And that's what you wrote down. Trick question, but the answer is this, that, whatever you want to hear. Turns into Ibiki, and Ibiki would realize that Naruto knew it was a trick question, but answered it perfectly. Then, Sasuke and Sakura, he did basically just place a very quick genjutsu on everyone in the room. He's that strong, doesn't matter. And basically was able to help every single Konoha team. Now, Rock Lee didn't approve, but that's when Naruto revealed that was the point of the exam. And Gaara, well, he was immune to it. He's a tailed beast. Not a tailed beast, I mean, he's a Jinchuriki. But we have to see that someone that strong is in the exam. But Naruto realized that Gaara was unaffected as well, so to Gaara, and Gaara's like, I don't need your help, but thanks. He stopped, but thanks, but he's like, that actually thinks I'm too weak to answer the question on my own. I'm too dumb to answer it on my own. He kind of was, but he was able to do it. But Naruto sits down, the Genjutsu is released, and nothing changed from Ibiki's point of view. Naruto was just sitting back in his chair. Naruto made them all see that everyone was sitting down, but in reality they were all getting answers from Naruto. But now I guess when you go to Anko bursts in, well, she's like, alright then everyone. And then questions why Ibiki why there's so many people that passed. And right before they leave, Naruto yelled, use the Genjutsu on everyone in the room so he could help every single Konoha team. Now immediately Kabuto was like he didn't say it out loud, but he's like, what the fuck? Because he was not helped. Naruto knows he's not Konoha Shinobi. He senses everyone's chakra in Konoha. Kabuto is not one of the people that was in Konoha. Kabuto is an imposter. He knows this. But won't tell Anko or Ibiki because it ruined the exams. And Sai also knows this, and he suspects them of working with Orochimaru. Because that's what Root does. They work with Orochimaru. Also, Kakashi threatened Danzo to give Sai to him. Danzo and Kakashi would have a brief scuffle, but Danzo admitted Kakashi was very impressive. Kakashi gave him a new scar on his face. A pretty deep one at that. We landed Danzo in the hospital for a while. But Danzo realized that Kakashi knew about the Sharingan under his eye. Not under his eye, I mean under his bandages. And Kakashi basically stabbed him, not in the eye, but right under it with the senbon. So yeah. Plus also scratched across his face. But yeah, back to this. So, Naruto and his team go to the forest of death. He ignores Anko the whole time, because he already knows what this is, but Anko throws a kunai at him. And what he does is just catch it, and will throw it back at Anko at double speed, and it hits her right in the shoulder. Or she thought. Naruto was right next over the senbon barely pointing at her, senbon barely in her shoulder. Anko shocked that Naruto was that fast to catch it. And so was everyone there. They realized that Naruto's basically a speed demon. and well, he's an actual demon if he chooses to be. Now eventually his team gets the Heaven Scroll, they head in the forest. They still meet that hidden rain or hidden mist team, and they're obliterated pretty easily. Naruto, Sai, and Sasuke keep in the forest, but they guess collaborate with Kiba, Hinata, and Shino, and Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji. We see some Konoha teams collaborating, and Neji cannot help but know that they need to, because well, before they all walked in, the team that got scroll first was Neji's. So what Naruto told them is basically that they should collaborate. Neji questioned why, but he whispered in Rock Lee's ear, saying that he's an Anbu Shinobi alongside Sai, Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Shino. Rock Lee told them this, and that's when Neji had to think about it, saying, well, it's kind of true. He knew every single answer to the question. He's stronger than Rock Lee with Taijutsu, and so fast that Rock Lee didn't even know what he did. Plus, my guy, well, he looked a little weary of Naruto. My guy may not have shown it, but Neji's strong enough and smart enough to tell. My guy is kind of nervous of Naruto, or his team at least, if they ever come to battle. With this, well, Neji knows that's the best option they have. So yeah. Now with this, the Konoha teams keep working together up until they encounter Orochimaru. Counter him, well, at least the ones that were in the Anbu stepping up first, and Hinata actually steps up as well. He's activated Sharingan, and then Neji's questioning why she feels so confident. But Hinata said out loud, she already surpassed Neji, but she will let Neji keep thinking he's the strongest one of the two. And Neji just realizes that this is confidence in her voice. With that confidence, he thinks it's true. It is. Now, Hinata would rush out Orochimaru first, as she's the weakest one of the Anbu. She's not even the Anbu, but she's one of the stronger ones that's not in the Anbu. Basically a distraction, and she's a distraction. Orochimaru does realize that and kicks her out of the way. But suddenly, as she's in the air, Rock Lee, basically his skin turned red, and he's kicked. Well, Orochimaru's kicked right in the guts and flying. Sasuke would rush out Orochimaru, cutting his sword and lightning, and stabbing Orochimaru right in the chest. Orochimaru is immediately electrocuted, and before he can pull the blade out of his chest and make a new body, bugs suddenly fly into his mouth. These bugs are poisonous, and they drain chakra. He realizes this and means throwing up the bugs, and suddenly Neji brushes him with the 64 palms, getting out with chakra points, and he starts to escape, realizing that this group is very well coordinated. Naruto's kind of demanding people to go, use this move, use that move. He's up tabs on every single person that would be in the tuning exams. He knows all their moves, all their techniques, everything. Thanks to Soyurama advising him to do that if he ever needed to. So yeah, he told everyone to do certain moves, and they all followed suit doing it. Yeah, so as Orochimaru tries to escape, Tenten rushes to the woods, opening a giant scroll that let out a gigantic fire dragon. Well, giant flaming exploding dragon. Hit Orochimaru, and as Orochimaru lands on the ground, he opens his eyes, and it's pretty foggy or blurry. But suddenly, he's put under mind transfer jutsu, and the Inner trio goes to work. They begin making Orochimaru basically just do dumb shit. He's having the hell beat out of him. Eventually, Ino goes back to her body. And last move, it's Choji using Human Boulder, summoning Orochimaru halfway through the forest. And then with this, Hinata, as she goes to work, and begins hitting Orochimaru. Techniques are more or less not only break bones, they're not to cancel chakra points, but sever bones or sever nerves. Just that. She hits him in a certain spot in the ribs, and that rib is severed. Hits him in a certain spot again, now the whole rib is basically just severed. Then eventually he hits it again, completely shattering the rib, and a part of it hits him right in the lung, puncturing it. He's about to pass out, he's punched right in the air by Rock Lee, and more bugs cloud him. As the bugs go away, suddenly a giant dragon grabs him, and another exploding dragon collides with him, really blowing up Orochimaru and burning him. And Orochimaru's trying to escape again, with Kabuto helping him this time, and Kabuto's team attacking, but being a little utterly defeated by Rock Lee and Sasuke. Only Orochimaru and Kabuto are sent flying right through the forest. And everyone notices that Naruto's gone. But as Orochimaru and Kabuto are kind of cowering in fear by a tree, they see a gigantic nine-tailed fox walking through the forest. Or gigantic aura of a cloak of a nine-tailed fox. This is kind of like Naruto's pseudo-Baryon mode. This is him using Nine-Tails chakra, but he has the Baryon mode form. well, not the actual Baryon mode form, but remember how Naruto looks when he's like in the Seven Tails form, something like that? He has that chakra and bone around him, but it takes the form of Baryon mode by the time he's at 9 tails. He's able to control it to that degree. 9 tails doesn't know about this. Herma knows about it. He's fought Naruto and lost. Naruto's able to basically control the shield to the point where it doesn't open or unlock, but the cage does. That's how Naruto and Kurama fought, and it was a very one-sided battle. Naruto has immature wood release, but his jutsu, his taijutsu, his kenjutsu, his fuin jutsu, it's no joke. That overpowered the 9 tails. And he won. Barely, because he's almost running out of chakra, but he won. That's how he uses the 9 tail chakra to his own degree. But now, yeah, Orochimaru and Kabuto are kind of just fearing, because Kabuto almost died because Naruto's one punch doesn't even punch that connected, which is a shockwave of just heat. Then Orochimaru actually said that he surrenders and threw Naruto a scroll. But Naruto said that Orochimaru's an enemy of the Hidden Leaf, so I told him who he was. Immediately, a fisted plunge right into Orochimaru's gut. Naruto thinks Orochimaru was killed by that. But Naruto just thought that Orochimaru was dead because he ran out of chakra, but no, he quite literally just passed out. They all leave, and Naruto takes Kabuto's team scroll, and they take Orochimaru's scroll. So, pause real quick. They're seeing one scroll, and that is for, let's say it's for Team Inoshikacho. So they find this last scroll basically by fighting Team Zaku, or Sasuke does, and basically just kills Dosu, Zaku, and Kine. Basically, this was literally just a Chidori stream. You guys think 3 months on the Anbu and Sasuke would not learn Chidori from Kakashi because he's the team leader? No, he would most definitely, or at least learn learn a lot of lightning release. But I'm giving him Chidori, so he used Chidori stream and kills them all in one go. That means what he did. He's right how strong he is. Because of Naruto, he can't forget that he's insanely strong for Genin. So yeah, they take the scroll, give it to Team Inoshikacho, and they head to the tower. Now they get there within 1 hour. They open their scrolls. And immediately, their senseis pop out, and like, oh, well, we can tell we did this because you're all here at the same time. Kakashi would nod to Naruto, so would Iruka, and they applaud Naruto because he was such a good person. He helped out every single clone on the team, even though it was not required. And that's why he helped, even though they're basically his rivals. And he said, well, one, they're not his rivals, they're too weak to be rivals. And also, because of his goal is to protect the Hidden Leaf. And again, he can't protect the Hidden Leaf if his team cannot progress. Not progress by doing stronger missions because they're just a certain low rank. So with this, so you should help them because it furthers your goal, but also furthers their progression. And that was it. Now 5 days pass, or 4.5 days pass, or 4 days and 3/4 pass, and it just consists of training. They basically put a giant seal around the tower. The point where basically it weakened everyone's chakra, the point where it's too low to even use one jutsu, no matter what level it is. Like, using one jutsu would drain all of your chakra and potentially kill you. So that basically made the tower a safe haven, and if you got there in time, you got to train. And Gaara's team, that's how strong Naruto truly was, or at least how strong he was in an example. Every team basically watched as Naruto proceeded to make it broad jutsu and master jutsu. The team proceeded to watch, and everyone realized that basically every single Konoha team was a different league. Neji and Hinata mended their very messed up family issues, or they were very messed up family, or at least between them. And Neji and Hinata were truly rivals. Hinata was stronger because she has her own style of taijutsu that Neji doesn't know, but Neji just had a lot more technique to it and finesse. So Hinata's taijutsu was unfamiliar, so she was stronger, but Neji had more technique that was weakening her a lot. So basically, learn each other's style of taijutsu, and now they're equals. Sasuke keeps furthering Chidori, making Chidori Senbone, and already had Chidori Stream. Now they head into the preliminaries, and every single team was kind of weird of the Konoha teams. The fights are a lot shorter. Pause real quick. Sasuke versus Yoroi doesn't happen. Shino versus Zaku doesn't happen. Zaku's dead, and Shino would already kill him pretty easily. Tsurugi is already dead, or not a challenge. Naruto versus Ino. Sakura isn't participating in training exams. Tenten versus Tamari. Tamari obliterates her. Still. Shikamaru versus Kin. Kin's dead. Naruto versus Kiba. Kiba's one shot. Hinata versus Neji. Well, that fight, well, it's pretty fast. Well, it's a tie. They weaken each other pretty fast. Gaara versus Rock Lee. Well, that goes in Gaara's favor, but Rock Lee is the true winner. Because Gaara has multitude of bones broken, including his jaw, his nose, his arm, but Rock Lee was simply just too tired to continue and passed out. Toji versus Dosu. Dosu's dead. I'll just go back up so I can just, yeah. So Sasuke has to fight Shino. Sasuke wins. He basically killed all of Shino's bugs, all of them, but a lot of them in one go. And Shino quit because he was depressed. Then Kankuro versus Ino. Kankuro obliterates. And Shikamaru versus Choji. Shikamaru murders Choji, so I've been funny. But yeah, so go back here. And now another one with the training. Naruto meets Jiraiya the same way, but Naruto's also slightly pervy. So he also spies on ladies, but points out certain someone to Jiraiya. This woman had the biggest area and the biggest chesticle area. And Naruto pointed her out, and Jiraiya's like, good looks, kid. Then realizing who Naruto was, and like, oh shit. And jumped. Naruto and Jiraiya being talking a bit, and Jiraiya's like, well, I'll train you if you can just catch me. Because Naruto's like, oh, well, if you're legendary Sannin, then I want you to train me. Or like, okay, if you want me to train you, catch me. Jiraiya makes clones, disappears, and well, Naruto chases him, and sings speeds. Naruto's an elite sensory ninja. Finding Jiraiya's real body wasn't too hard. That body had slightly more chakra, by 0.5%. So what Naruto did is basically throw kunai in every single clone that he could, and when the kunai were to reach the clones, they poofed into Naruto's, and every single clone punted down Jiraiya's clones. So that leaves one Jiraiya left, and it's the real one. So Naruto's able to catch him by actually amping his speed using chakra, and grabs him. Pause real quick. So Naruto catches Jiraiya, and I guess the one with training would commence with Jiraiya trying to teach Naruto the summoning jutsu. But Naruto already knows that from Hashirama. Naruto just taught Naruto how to summon scrolls, weapons, anything. Summoning a frog didn't take too long. It took around an hour. And with that, Jiraiya tried to teach Naruto just different jutsu from fire style, but he does that pretty easily. He knows every single nature. When Jiraiya figures that out, he tries to teach Naruto other things, but Naruto proceeds to try to do wood release. He does a few wood pillars and shocks Jiraiya. So for 2 weeks, they spend it trying to have Naruto learn other forms of wood release, and it works out pretty well. So then the last 2 weeks is Rasengan. In 2 days, he picks up the water balloon away, and does it pretty easily. Like I said before, you can do every single nature, and that honestly requires there's probably perfect chakra control. So he does that pretty well. And then with rubber ball, takes him around 3 hours to do that. Does that on the balloon, the rubber ball explodes. Now it's doing Rasengan in general. Does that pretty fast too. So now the last week they have, or week and a half they spend it trying to do basically infuse natures into Rasengan, and they infuse wind release into it. And the last day for the shooting exams, they were able to make fire go into it. So now Naruto's opponent, Neji. Now when he fights Neji, well, I was going to make a split decision, like, oh yeah, whoever, like you guys can vote, whoever goes next. Now, Hinata is immediately voted out because she made up her own style of taijutsu, and they think it disgraced the Hyuga style taijutsu. In reality, it would have been Hinata if she didn't make her own style of taijutsu. So Neji's his opponent, and what Naruto does is just like kind of stare down Neji, and tell Neji if Neji doesn't submit right now, he'll kill him. But Naruto trying to be courageous, and suddenly a giant burst of red chakra flares from Naruto. He bursts right up front of Neji, uppercutting him right through the wall. But Neji's caught by Naruto and immediately healed. Soon as Neji's thrown back in the arena, he has a slight bruise on his cheek from landing. He's like, I quit. And he walks out. He walks out of the stadium. Naruto walks back in, and he turns the winner. I'm gonna go find the other fights. So Naruto basically one-shot Neji. Then with Shikamaru versus Tamari. Shikamaru just, well, didn't know once he trained to the shadow, he basically mastered the first basic jutsu that he does with shadow possession. With that being mastered, well, he takes on Tamari like it's nothing. Then with Sasuke versus Gaara, honestly, Sasuke one-shot Gaara. Just a really swift, shoving his hand right into Gaara's whole barrier, but doesn't hit him. Gaara just chucked at Sasuke, saying he'll blow his arm, or basically tear his arm up now. Suddenly, Sasuke will yell to raise Senbone, and Gaara is stabbed 3 times. Gaara screams as the barrier was like in a sand dome is dispersed. And when it's dispersed, everyone sees Gaara has three points of lightning shoved one through his stomach, one through his shoulder, and one a little bit through his neck. It's not, it wouldn't kill him, but it bleeds a lot. Well, it would kill him, but it's not going to kill him at the moment. Immediately, because of Gaara's deathly injury, Gaara's pronounced the loser, Sasuke's the winner, and Senbone is dispersed. Naruto appears right in front of Gaara, healing his wounds. But Gaara was already enraged enough, and the Shukaku was released. As soon as Kabuto tries the Genjutsu, Kurenai and Sakura would break it. And as Gaara escapes in his Shukaku form, Sasuke would chase Gaara. And Naruto one-shots Kabuto by appearing right next to him, hitting him inside the neck. Not hard enough to break it or knock him out, but Kabuto's like, "Huh, that didn't hurt." You realize he can't turn his head the other way, like, "Fuck, my neck gets stuck." Then my guy kicks him right through the wall, sending him flying into a gigantic summoned snake. And Kabuto makes it poof, and Kabuto's unconscious. But Naruto appears in front of other summoning snakes, and Naruto weaves their broader hand signs, making shadow clones, and they'll summon every single, warrior toad from Mount Miyamboku. These toads are summoned, they then attack summoning snakes, until, after around 2 minutes, every single summoning summoning snake is defeated. Kakashi and Guy take down every single member of the hidden sand and hidden sound that's there. And Orochimaru did not attack Hiruzen, instead of the actual Kazekage. But Naruto, Sound 4 did smoke the barrier on the Kazekage and and Hiruzen. The reason the actual Kazekage is because Orochimaru is still pretty weakened from what happened. And Kabuto, like I said, isn't dead. So, yeah, Kabuto's the only one able to actually leave. While Orochimaru is actually still recovering from having a giant hole punched through him. And each time he makes a new body, that pain still stays. It just prefers to stay in his normal body until the pain goes away. This pain's unbearable. He can try to fight Kimimaru and was still unbearable. Now he could get a new body, but that'd take too long, and he'd still be in excruciating pain, so he refused to do it for a while. But now we'd have basically just Naruto watching the fight. Hiruzen's abusing the Kazekage. Eventually the Kazekage does get Hiruzen's arm right in the sand, but suddenly Hiruzen is suddenly replaced by a gigantic wall of wood. Naruto used wood release to basically shove a giant wooden pillar around Hiruzen, grab him, pull him down as fast as possible. But in that hole in the ground, Naruto jumps through it and punches Rasa right in the face, basically coating his arm with Ninetales chakra, and sends the fist flying. Kind of like a Gomu Gomu no technique, but you just use Ninetales chakra. Send Rasa flying right through the barrier. Sound 4 then attacks Naruto. As they attack Naruto, Kabuto fixes his neck and attacks Naruto alongside them. Everyone's kind of worried for Naruto until he pulls out a giant sword and immediately slashes Jirobo in half, stabs Kidomaru in the stomach, uses Genjutsu on Toyuya that weakens her and makes her pass out. Kabuto can't land a single hit on him. He's too fast. And then with Sekon and Ukon, they're both just stabbed right through one side in the head with a small katana, other one gets his head chopped off. And then with Kabuto's literally just one shot by Naruto, just with a fist colliding to his face, not even using chakra, just something that fast and strong, and it punched Kabuto halfway across the hidden leaf. Now, every single Jonin there had realized that Naruto is simply above their league, even Kakashi. And Jiraiya had heard the Ninetales attack, plus Yamamoto summoned Jiraiya right from under his feet. So he went to the hidden leaf to see what was going on, and basically saw it being attacked. Saw every single warrior Toad was summoned there and was fighting, and saw Naruto fighting Sound 4. When then he saw Kabuto get sent flying, and the other members of Sound 4 being killed. So he was kind of shocked that Naruto was simply stronger than them all. But yeah, now Rasa recovered over his face. That was not pretty badly burned, but it had a slight burn mark on it, and his nose bleeding excessively. Rushed at Naruto using gigantic dome I don't, but gigantic wave of gold dust. And suddenly, Naruto puts his hands in the air and yells, "Giant Rasengan!" Giant Rasengan is formed versus that Rasa, pushing through his gold dust and taking Rasa with it, sending him flying, not killing him, but he's unconscious. Now to Sasuke versus the One Tails. Sasuke won pretty easily. Hybrid Gaara couldn't even touch him until Gaara transformed into full Shukaku. Sasuke used Shuri Senbon and channeled enough lightning with enough heat to turn Shukaku's whole arm into glass. That he ran up Shukaku's arm and stabbed Gaara right in the shoulder. That Gaara begins panicking and screaming, but wakes up, and Sasuke tells Naruto's story, and how Naruto was ridiculed, abused, everything. The whole village hated Naruto, but he still became the strongest shinobi in the village, or one of the strongest shinobi. And you see where he is now. As he points to Naruto beating the hokage. So Sasuke's like, so you see, he didn't care about the hatred. He just wanted to be strong enough, and still wants to protect the village. Gaara needs to have that drive to protect himself and his siblings, as they fought Sasuke, and they lost pretty horribly, but they still fought for Gaara. Gaara feels bad, but listens. Now, Naruto and Gaara still kind of have a semi-friendly relationship, but now Sasuke kind of has his friendship mainly. But yeah, now the Konoha Crush ends, and well, Kabuto retreats, because he was punched halfway across Konoha, and everyone forgot about him. Rasa escapes to the hidden sand. Gaara and the Sand siblings are arrested. Basically, everyone was arrested unless they didn't escape. Bunta told Naruto that was a pretty short strategy, summoning him and every single warrior took. But to say why Naruto had enough chakra to do that, when Naruto's last night's chakra is basically endless. He can summon as much as he wants to. Only time that Naruto's chakra wasn't endless was when he fought the Nine Tails, and that was when he was like 9. So yeah. Karma basically told Naruto in his head that was a good job. But Hyushin is going to question how Naruto was able to one-shot a Hokage. Fight multiple shinobi that are basically one of them was supposed to be on Kakashi's level. Then there were 3 more or 4 more that were basically Jonin level. And Naruto even break a sweat, began sweating, and barely lost any chakra. Plus Sasuke is his weaker teammate, and Sasuke beat the One Tails. Like it was like Sasuke didn't get scraped, grazed, and nothing. Sasuke's weaker. Remember, Sasuke's weaker than Naruto, and he beat the One Tails without going out of breath. Beat the Sand siblings. Kamaru still chased Sasuke and took down the random sound shinobi like it was nothing. He's still one of the weaker shinobi. How strong is Naruto? But Jiraiya walked up on Hiruzen saying, "He's stronger than Sanin. Trust me on that." So Naruto put his fist in his hand, saying, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Every single the Konoha teams that took the training exams, yeah, we fought Orochimaru and won." Jiraiya and everyone else around him's jaw drop, and they think they're lying until Rock Lee says, "It's true. I kicked him in the stomach." My guy yelled, "Rock Lee, we're getting dinner tonight. On me." And Rock Lee says, "Sensei, this was the 3rd gate. It almost knocked him out." Naruto said, "It's honestly pretty impressive." And Hinata and Neji, well, Hinata kind of broke one of his ribs and punctured his lung. Hiyashi like, "Really? Hinata, you're welcome back in the clan. Neji, I make you an honorary main house member." He's like, "Ah, fuck yeah." So yeah, Hiyashi officially adopts Neji, and Hinata is now accepted as the Hyuga, future heir. Not error, I mean future heir. I almost said error, that's messed up. But yeah, so Hiruzen kind of admits that he's like not fit for the job, but now he looks at Hokage candidates: Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kakashi, Yamato, Naruto. Now Jiraiya's like questioning, why is Naruto a Hokage candidate? And now we get the leaked secret of Naruto to Jiraiya. The leaked secret, but Jiraiya gets Naruto's true story. Naruto had left Konoha because he was just upset and lived in a Senju camp. He analyzed the battle strategies, became basically the prodigy, and is the rookie of the generation. He's in the Anbu, and the only one with elite battle strategies that didn't need much fixing up. Only people that could fix it up were the Naras, Kakashi, or Shikamaru, Kakashi. Those are the only 2 that could improve it. Not even Danzo and Hiruzen could do it. So Naruto's just that elite with battle strategies. He doesn't care about being Hokage. He just wants to make sure his village is safe. And, well, you saw how strong he was. He one-shot the Kazekage. Hiruzen couldn't even do that. Naruto is quite obviously above Hiruzen and Rasa. Plus, he took down multiple Jonin level shinobi and one almost Hokage level shinobi. Plus, Kakashi is just weaker than Naruto, and Kakashi is a Hokage candidate. Guys wondering about Zabuza and Haku and why they didn't help. They're busy returning the blade, the Executioner's blade to the Hidden Mist. And they had a few Hidden Leaf escorts in the shadows, so they couldn't be attacked. But yeah, so with this, now they want to have a little duel of intelligence and strength between Naruto and Tsunade. Kakashi and Jiraiya refused, so did Yamato. So now it's left up to Naruto and Tsunade. So yeah, with this, this leaves to Naruto and Jiraiya going to find Tsunade, and they do find her. So now Tsunade hears that Naruto's the youngest Hokage candidate in years. Kind of question why when Jiraiya explains that he's already stronger than Jiraiya and he one-shot the Kazekage. Tsunade's already impressed, and that's when she hears that Naruto's teammate beat the One-Tails without breaking a sweat, beat multiple Jonin, and beat other Chunin level shinobi, still didn't break a sweat or be in panting, and barely lost any chakra. And he's Naruto's weaker teammate and beat the One-Tails. And she also hears that he's the best technical genius in Konoha currently. So she's like, alright then, I'll challenge him just because I want to confirm that I'm the strongest Sannin, because Orochimaru and you lost to him. Jiraiya didn't directly lose, but he could not have one-shot Rasa. He knows that. Well, further off this because Naruto's giant Rasengan was infused with tons of wind release that Jiraiya can't even summon, so they just blew away all the same and hit Rasa immediately. Yeah, so they back the Hidden Leaf with intelligence. Well, Tsunade is a lot smarter than Naruto on paper, but with battle strategies, Tsunade is outmatched heavily. Naruto kind of gains the title of basically the god of war. If Hidden Leaf were to go into a war, well, whatever side that Naruto's on is going to win most definitely. He analyzed the battle strategy between the Hidden Sand and the Hidden Leaf. The Hidden Sand would have lost. And he was able to basically talk about each and every strategy that could have worked. And the Hidden Sand battle was a great example. Then analyze the notes and reports from the Great Shinobi War, where the fourth Hokage or the Yellow Flash got his title. And analyze that and find a way for the Hidden Leaf to win without the Yellow Flash needing to be named the Yellow Flash. That was even more impressive. Then for the Hidden Cloud, well, leave the Hokage and the Tailed Beast to him, and he analyzed strategy for that to work. They're just being impressed multiple times over. Even with the Hidden Mist, Zabuza and Haku were able to help with that, and they're stronger than Naruto at all. Not even better technical geniuses. So with this, Naruto matched Tsunade, and the war would probably be pretty important. But also, Naruto brought up small problems in the Hidden Leaf, and would kind of raise the economy. Tsunade would help raise the economy as well, but Naruto's was more useful. Because it actually kind of brought up like, oh, the slums, here's how to improve that, because I used to live in them. And it brought them up to basically be like nobles. Same with the middle class. Well, Tsunade's could have helped everyone else, but it wasn't as fun as Naruto's. So the villagers approved of Naruto's more, but in reality, Tsunade's was more effective. But then with strength, Tsunade and Naruto had a battle. They went to the Valley of the End, and Naruto began fighting Tsunade. Physically, he rivaled her without even enhancing his body. Speed, he outmatched her easily. With just ninjutsu, outmatched her. Healing jutsu, outmatched her. Healing ninjutsu, he outmatched her. She was outmatched in every single way. Eventually, he stabbed in the stomach by Naruto's big blade, but he pulls it out and heals her. She even used 100 healings and still lost. But Naruto broke a sweat. And with this, well, Naruto's now isn't the new Hokage candidate. He's the new Hokage. And he's 13. So with this, we're going to go fast forward 1 year. Naruto at this time probably would have been around 14 or just now turning 14. And Naruto and Sasuke already broke the Indra and Ashura cycle. They're already allies, and Sasuke doesn't know he's inferior to Naruto. It's been proven multiple times over, but Naruto does not brag about it, and actually, he teaches Sasuke to improve. He even told Sasuke, oh, if this was me a year or so ago, you would have won easily. This literally just Sasuke's confidence, while also telling him how to improve. And even helped Sasuke get a little bit better than him in Genjutsu. So Sasuke outmatches Naruto in that, like Naruto being immune to Genjutsu. And Kenjutsu as well. But when it comes to like bigger swords, Sasuke can't beat Naruto. Zabuza and Kakashi personally trained Sasuke. But now when Naruto is 15, he's the first Hokage, not first, but the youngest Hokage. He's the sixth Hokage. No, I mean the fifth Hokage. And now we go to like, when he's 14, he's the fifth Hokage. So during this time, Naruto got busy. First off, with Sasuke's statements and former members of Root, well, Danzo's arrested. Plus, well, Tachi didn't give a statement, but they were able to get the files on what happened with the Uchiha Massacre from Hiruzen, and Naruto promised Hiruzen no jail time, because Hiruzen was like, here's this about the elders and Danzo, and Naruto was like, alright then, you will get jail time, because you're being inflictable, but I wouldn't give you jail time, it's up to Sasuke. Sasuke's like, alright then you won't get jail time, because you let my brother spy on me, or not spy on me, but you let my brother certain visitation, from a distance, so you're able to basically be in a village. Kisame and Tachi do not attack, because they heard about Naruto one-shotting a Hokage, so they're not trying to fight that. They also didn't invade Naruto and Jiraiya, because Naruto found Tsunade first. It was pretty easy. The Danzo's arrested, and basically put in Hidden Leaf prison. His Sharingan arm is cut off, his Hashirama chakra is extracted via sealing ninjutsu, and his Shisui's eye is put in Sasuke's head. Sasuke has his other eye kind of put on like ice. When really it's just kind of just put in the coldest part of the Hidden Leaf, with really tons of ice. Sasuke's other eye has Kodo Masukami. And Sasuke and Itachi, well, at one point they had linked vision, and Itachi was able to tell this was Sasuke. Now he didn't realize that he took Danzo's eye and was actually shocked. But he's still in the Hidden Leaf and an ally. Now Naruto's advisor is still Shikaku. Not Shukaku. Sheikaku. Shikamaru's father. But Shikamaru is being trained to be Naruto's advisor. Now with this, the Hidden Leaf, well, they expand, and the gates outside are a lot bigger. And they're a lot more durable. And now Naruto this time had mastered Naruto's chakra. Naruto has 3 students. Udon, Moegi, Konohamaru. Those are 3 students, and Konohamaru was already selected as the 6th Hokage. Or the future 6th Hokage. If Naruto were to ever die. But yeah, Konohamaru trained by Naruto. He mastered trained by Jiraiya first. The training trip is Jiraiya choosing Konohamaru. Udon Moegi learned from Naruto personally. Hinata becomes the queen of the Hyuga. Neji is her advisor. Sasuke's leader of the Uchiha clan, as him and Sasuke Sakura and Sasuke got personal. It sounded like I meant like Hinata and Sasuke, but no, it's Sakura and Sasuke. Now, by the time they're 16, they already have a kid. So yeah, then Shikamaru became the clan head of the Nara. By the time he's 15, he already outsmarted Shikaku because of Naruto helping him. Not Shikaku, I mean Shikaku. Yeah, Shikamaru outsmarted Shukaku. Shikamaru outsmarted Shikaku just because of Naruto's help in training. Naruto's advisors, the elders, are Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Hiruzen. Those are the elders. The original elders plus Danzo are put in prison. Then his Anbu consists of Yamato, Kakashi. Oh, because Jiraiya's an elder now, Kakashi takes over the Spade Network. But Yamato is one in Naruto. Never mind. Yeah, Yamato goes with Kakashi. His Anbu consists of Sasuke, Neji, and Shino. Shino's brother, well, he's welcome back to the Aburame clan. All the Anbu that were in the Root, well, they're either put in execution or in prison. Or the ones that kind of put up a fight. The ones that want to go back to their families are actually welcome back. But his Anbu consists of Shino's brother, Sai, and Sasuke. But now we go to the beginning of Shippuden. So Gaara wanted to learn how to control a sailed beast, so he went to Naruto during the time skip. So he's already able to somewhat control Shikaku a lot easier. So with that, when we fought Deidara, well, Deidara is almost killed, so is Gaara. Enough for Deidara and Sasori having to retreat. And Sasori wanted to get Gaara himself. Well, this led to a lot stronger Kankuro and Tamari attacking him, and he's not defeated, but he's pushed back a bit, and he retreats with Deidara. So there's no need for Kazekage retrieval. And Rasa, well, he ended that settled down to Gaara, because Gaara beat the hell out of him. So, yeah. So, we're going to place the Kazekage retrieval arc with the 5 Kage summit, because Gaara and Naruto both called it. So for the summit, they all arrive, and the Akatsuki members send a few people to watch. Kakuzu, Hidan, Itachi, and Kisame. Those 4 are watching. I was kind of shocked to see that Naruto's the Hokage now. And well, no one knew about the new Hokage. Like no one knew unless you were in the Hidden Leaf. No one knew. Not even Orochimaru and Kabuto. But they go like when they arrive, Yuten's gonna sit in the chair, not Tsunade or Jiraiya. He's gonna sit on the chair, plus the Anbu. Now, A asks why Yuten or Tsunade aren't sitting down, not even Jiraiya. They say, oh, the Hokage isn't here yet. Suddenly, they hear a loud thud, and Kabuto yelling, damn it, Naruto, get inside, you're late. Not sure she's him shirtless, but putting on his Hokage attire, saying, God damn it, I lost track of time. Sat in his chair, and his eyes were in sage mode. Everyone realized that, or the ones that knew what sage mode was realized that. And, well, his hair, over time, he stopped dyeing it, was yellow. So, immediately the Hidden Earth realized that Naruto looked a lot like Minato. Immediately, Onoki tried to attack, but suddenly bugs surround him, and the attack was being drained rapidly. He's like, who the hell is he? Why does he look like the 4th Hokage? No, oh yeah, that's my dad. Sorry about everything that happened. Also, you'd be killed right now. They look outside, and they see multiple toads, including Gambunsa, Gamakichi, Gamatatsu, Gamaken, and the old mom and pop toad, and all of that. Kind of shocked. It's when the Sannin also put themselves saying, also we're here, and his Anbu are all Kage level. Everyone immediately realized, Kage realized that Naruto, well, he's not playing around. He's this strong. This Kage level Anbu, he has 3 Kage level shinobi that aren't his Anbu. They're the elders. Like this is insane for them. But Gaara talks about the Akatsuki, and talks about Itachi, who's also a member of the Akatsuki, but also he's a Hidden Leaf spy, but he's in too deep cover. So they're trying to get him out of it. But now we go to the area where the Akatsuki are listening. Kisame, Kakuzu, and Hidan look right at Itachi. They heard that. Immediately, Itachi used Amaterasu in the building, but Sengon blows apart the walls where Amaterasu was listed, and Itachi jumped away from Kisame about to attack him. But Kisame's about to slam down Samehada on Itachi. Kakuzu blocks Zabuza blocks the attack using his Executioner's Blade, as this time let me find the name real quick. So Zabuza basically just ran right into Chojuro, grabbing the Executioner's Blade. That was his sword alongside the canonical sword he had. But Zabuza blocks Kisame's attack, and since Zabuza would one hand seal, and Samehada froze over. Zabuza learned Ice Release from Haku, while Naruto basically learned every single jutsu and Genkai that wasn't, well, genetic. He learned all those jutsu. Where was I? A 5 summit. Zabuza froze Kisame Samehada because he learned Ice Release from Haku, and well, Naruto knows every single Genkai that isn't genetic, like Sharingan, Byakugan, that kind of stuff. As long as the Genkai in the Hidden Leaf wasn't genetic, he learned how to do it. So yeah, with this he was able to fight off Kisame. Well, Zabuza and Haku were fighting off Kisame. Zabuza and Kisame were legit coming over because they wanted to tell Naruto something, but I'm just gonna make it up later. Naruto fought off Kakuzu and Hidan. Fought off those two with this insane taijutsu. And ever since Kage there realized that Naruto's the best at taijutsu. Eventually, when Hidan got close enough, we all went to slash Naruto with the scythe. Suddenly, Naruto would roar. Suddenly, he would burst into his pseudo-baryon mode, I guess. That's really what it is. He does that, he shoves his fist right through Hidan's head and throws him. As soon as Hidan got thrown, Kakuzu realized that Naruto was a whole different breed. Kakuzu suddenly kicked him in the air, and every single heart he has is pierced by Naruto's hands. So yeah, Kakuzu's dead now. And, well, Kisame stabbed right through the back by Haku. Haku just jumped up on his back and, well, took Zabuza's Executioner's Blade and stabbed him right through the back of the chest. Well, not right through the back of the chest, but right through his back, and went through his chest, killing him. Then Itachi had realized that basically, well, one member of the Akatsuki, well, 2 had died here, wanted to quit, and one of them is unconscious currently. Well, what Naruto did basically is just use Earth Release and dig a gigantic tunnel down and kick Hidan right down the tunnel. As soon as Hidan hit the ground, and what Naruto does is fill it up with ice, and Zabuza and Haku use the command jutsu to freeze it all the way through. Then they bury it with earth release. They bury it deeper and then cover it with earth release, leaving it unfrozen, and he's gonna starve if he ever thaws out. Now, eventually, this leads to Naruto and everyone else looking at Itachi, as Itachi was just painting, and Itachi was asked how they knew he was how he was a spy. No, he just steps out saying, Itachi, I'm not a Hokage anymore, and I just share all my Hokage secrets with Naruto. What do you think? How do you think he knows? So Naruto had taken his hair, forgetting what Naruto had done, and was like, oh shit, I need hair dye. Well, his hair's are somewhat platinum blonde. Like it already looks white, but some parts of it are still like not kind of bright blonde, so it looks like Minato. But yeah. Now with this Itachi will look at Tsunade because he's already kind of coughing up blood right now. He doesn't have medication. Tsunade can already tell what this is. I mean, it's healing him. And we'll not confuse Itachi with Nine-Tails chakra, and that means healing him as well. Now, eventually, this leads to just the Hokage Summit continuing. And while they talk, well, a few things happened. So, the body that Orochimaru needed, well, he gets like the same old one he got before when he was meeting Sasuke. He still has that body, but well, one difference is, I guess, would be that the body's dying. But also, well, he's kind of fully healed, but now he's looking for a new vessel. I think of Kimimaru, but Kimimaru would be dead by now. Thinking of Jugo, Kairin, or well, Ross is always an option. Ross isn't a fighter anymore. Naruto gonna hit him hard enough to actually destroy a few bones that were permanently destroyed, including some of his arm and 2 of his ribs. The Ross is gonna just permanently done for. His arm had to be amputated, and doesn't have enough energy to actually fully fight. 2 of his ribs being completely gone are pretty much a very bad thing to happen. But now we go to, I'd say, just I don't know. Think of it. I gotta think of this. This talk just concludes with Gar talking about Sasori and Deidara, and him saying the Akatsuki man has tailed beast, but Itachi gives him more information on the Hokage Summit, and they get introduced to the new Hokage. Now as they're leaving, as Hidden Leaf leaving, A and Killer B approach Naruto and talk about the place where they train the Cherokees and offering Naruto a place to train. And with that, Naruto would say that they form an alliance with the Hidden Leaf if they want him to train there. Goes in Killer B and says, no, A is not really a fan of it, but I'm a fan of it, so how about this? I swear my allegiance to the Hidden Leaf until you finish. That gives you guys an extra-tailed beast. Naruto agrees with that term, and he goes to the land where they train for the tailed beast. Naruto doesn't need that much training. He legit just needs like a week of training. Without 1 week, what happens is, basically he still meets Minato, and that doesn't go the same way. It's just Naruto talks to Minato, already knowing who he is, and Minato hears that Naruto is the youngest Hokage. Minato kind of lost track of time and asks Naruto, like, oh, how old are you, like 20-something? And Naruto says he's 16. Minato kind of chokes on his ghostly spit and says, what? How are you Hokage and you're 16? Naruto goes over all his feats that he killed on him off the top of his head, and Minato's like, yeah, you're definitely Kage-worthy. I can't believe you're in the Amba at such a young age. But Naruto would continue talking to Minato until eventually Minato has to go away. Naruto unlocks ACM1, then eventually he meets Kushina, and she hears about all of his feats, and he hears about Kushina's backstory with Minato. And when Kushina hears about Naruto being Hokage at 16 years old, well, technically he's elected at 14 years old, but he had to basically wait a few years and train a bit more. But he also says that he's going to find some way for them to basically be brought back temporarily so he can show them some cool things about Konoha now. She nods, and now they go to Naruto ends up leaving, heading back to Konoha. When he arrives, there's a giant line outside Konoha, and it's basically for people wanting to live there. Some are from the hidden clouds, some are from the hidden sand, some are from the hidden stone. There's a multitude of people. They only want to live there due to the fact that their Hokage is the youngest, but also rumoredly the strongest. They don't believe this until they hear that basically he one-shot Hokage. He also did like just different feats that were insanely impressive to people. But yeah, now Naruto does eventually except on half the people. People don't have Shinobi backstories, or I guess like Shinobi history, and a few of them are still currently Shinobi. They didn't think that Naruto would know, but they were. Some of them were spies from the Hidden Stone. Some of them were just people who preferred the Nine Tails over the Eight Tails and left. So yeah. With this, we're gonna fast forward a bit to like the Akatsuki Expression mission, which will not happen because Kakuzu's dead and Hidan is buried under thick layers of ice and earth. Itachi's in addition to Hidden Leaf recovering a bit, and he also swapped ice with Sasuke. Shishui's either been in Itachi's body so long that basically fused with his DNA, and now Itachi and Sasuke kind of swap eyes. Well, one of their eyes has Kodo Matsukami that also shoots Amaterasu, but the other eye also shoots Amaterasu. And it's also an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, so it works double. And so I guess after the Akatsuki Expression mission would be, well, before that would be the Tennichi Bridge, but they don't need to handle that right now. So replacing the Akatsuki Expression mission would be finding Orochimaru's bases. Kakashi was basically just like, my spy network's a little bit better than Jiraiya, so I was able to find a lot more leads, and talks about the base where Karin and Jugo are. Also talks about a rumored base where they have a hidden mist Kikken guy hidden there, a rare one at that. Immediately Zabuza and Haku could tell what Kikken this might be. And Itachi hearing about Kikken from the hidden mist from Kisame, he also says that he may not know what it is. But Zabuza and Haku insist on checking it out themselves. So they do just that. And by the way, Zabuza returned the execution blade to Chojuro. So yeah. But in return, they gave him a certain execution blade that was different. And instead, this one, well, it absorbed chakra, but instead of like if you got enough blood on your sword, it just absorbed chakra and fed it back to you, kind of like Samehada. It was like basically Samehada, but in the form of the execution blade. And all that blade, the hidden leaf that they're going to keep it for examination, because well, it was used to attack and leave. They're going to keep it for a bit, not permanently. And then the hidden mist accepted that. Zabuza and Haku head to the base where Suigetsu is. When we get there, they take out all the guards pretty easily. Now, immediately Suigetsu can see Zabuza and like, what, is that a hidden leaf vest? And is that a hidden leaf headband? Zabuza explains the whole situation. He's like, oh wow, that's impressive. And legendary Itachi Uchiha is now the ally of the Hidden Leaf, and you guys have the youngest Hokage, the youngest Kage in history. Zabuza frees Suigetsu, throws him a sword, and well, it's a pretty cool one at that. So Suigetsu accepts it. He gets clothes, and they head to the Hidden Leaf. Then Suigetsu does try to attack Haku, but Haku one-shots him, sending him flying to a tree. And Suigetsu's like, I assume you're Zabuza's underling. Haku's like, yep, Zabuza's stronger than me. So yeah, with this, Suigetsu goes with them. And then, with this, for the base, Asuma, who's actually now under Shikamaru. Shikamaru is the Hokage advisor, sure, but he's also Asuma. He's the team leader of Team Asuma now. They're replaced as Team Shikamaru. Asuma is run to Shikamaru, who then there's Ino and Choji. They still do missions as a team, but Shikamaru's the leader. So yeah, now with that base, with Karin actually kind of persuaded to go to the Hidden Leaf because the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf is an Uzumaki. He's a half-breed, sure, but he's still the strongest. So she goes there wanting to see for herself. They go through the base with Shikamaru, kind of basically one-shotting everyone with a curse mark. It's pretty damn easy for him. And Choji's legit out-muscles everyone, even in their full hybrid form. Not full hybrid, in their full transmission form, he out-muscles everyone still. Asuma is just quite literally a boxer and just one-shots everyone by breaking their nose or their jaw. And Ino used my jutsu to take down a few of them herself. Until it gets to Jugo. And, well, Ino's a master of Genjutsu, and Shikamaru's a master of Persuasion. So with those two things combined, they're able to actually somewhat subdue Jugo. And, well, his rage, even in his full form, well, it subdues a lot. He's still slightly uncontrollable, but he's in a lot more control. So this is the Hidden Leaf with them, but he's under Genjutsu due to Ino and Shikamaru. Now, at this point, Ino and Sai are dating, while Shikamaru is dating Temari, but it's this relationship that only Naruto knows about. Like they occasionally send letters, and Naruto and Gaara also knows. Those two are the ones that authorize the letters. But yeah, so they all have the same wives, the same girlfriends in canon, just not Naruto, Choji, and just Naruto and Choji. They don't have the same girlfriends. Choji met Karui. No, he didn't meet Karui at all, actually. But Shikamaru's met her, and she's okay to him. But yeah. Now with this, they all hit the hidden leaf, and Jugo introduced himself to Naruto, and Jugo does where Kimimaro died of natural causes, not in battle, so he wouldn't have a reason to hate Naruto. Because if Kimimaro were to fight Naruto, he'd die. He would have gotten the Kabuto Economic Crush treatment by being punched halfway across Konoha. But yeah, Karin meets Naruto and is shocked to hear that he actually is an Uzumaki. But Naruto changes up his hair dye. That being instead of being half white and half brown, it's half white and half red. And he just said, yeah, it's hair dye, but he actually is an Uzumaki, and she's able to sense that. But chakra is overwhelming. It basically surrounds Land of Fire and half of the Hidden Sand. That's how much chakra he has. It's basically endless. I don't know, it's probably a lot more than that, but it's basically endless chakra. And she's just very impressive. Well, she thinks she's very impressive. But now I guess we'd go to let me pause real quick. Alright, so we would have just all members of the Akatsuki trying to be formed together as one group. But Suigetsu, Kari, and Jugo are brought to the Hidden Leaf. They meet Naruto. And Naruto, he lets Jugo go to his full power. Then the Semigen Jutsu on Jugo's released. And Naruto would subdue Juzo, how he does a tailed beast. Then he uses a strong Genjutsu that would have a permanent effect. And this Genjutsu basically gives Jugo full control over his form, but also if Jugo were need an opponent where you need to go berserk because that's more power unleashed, then the seal can never temporarily be disabled, but Jugo will have to try to say a certain catchphrase if he gains enough control. Otherwise he'd have to be detained. But now, well, what team would he join? There's a problem until Asuma would speak up, and so Kurenai. Those two revealed that Kurenai is pregnant, and Asuma says that him and Kurenai also want to get married. So with that, Asuma would leave Team Shikamaru, placing Asuma with Jugo. And then Kurenai, well, her team would consist of Shino, Hinata, well, it was Team Shino basically. So Shino, Hinata, and Kiba, well, now they need a third man. The third man is going to be Suigetsu. So yeah, Suigetsu is the third person. And basically, every female on the team wanted to learn from Tsunade technically, so Tsunade trained all of them. Well, Karin's already an expert healer, but learned how to be better with Tsunade. So Karin's still a shinobi in training. Suigetsu was just another battle unit, alongside Hinata, who's also a battle unit, but also a healer. But yeah, so every single member of the Akatsuki gets together, but also requests Orochimaru, Kabuto, and some other all of Orochimaru's subjects be members of the Akatsuki, making the Akatsuki a small army. Then every single member of Sound Village, within Sound Village that was wanted to be shinobi, they're also put as members of the Akatsuki, making the Akatsuki a small army. Then every single shinobi of the Hidden Rain, now they're just one whole army technically, basically the size of a shinobi village. Those two villages combine into one, and now we have the Red Cloud Village. That's the name of the village, Red Cloud. So yeah. Now with this, what Naruto does is go after Utakata, who's the 6-tailed Jinchuriki. He goes after every single Jinchuriki that's alive, at least. He goes after them. Well, it's Roshi and Roshi, Utakata, Fu, all the canonical ones. Well, some of them are still killed, Fu would be dead at this point, actually. So it would just be Roshi and Utakata. Those two are well, Naruto says that he can further their power as a Jinchuriki, and he says that he's the Hokage and the 9-tailed Jinchuriki. He beat the 9-tails and became friends with him. So they should learn how to further their power as a Jinchuriki. So Utakata pretty sure he's already friended with the 7-tails, or 6-tails, I mean. but his power is furthered by a lot. So then, same with Roshi, and now with this, well, Obito decides to use He decides to use Orochimaru to resurrect Madara, and well, Madara will just tell Pain his whole truth about the Rinnegan. Pain says he's actually willing to hand over both Rinnegan, not both, but one Rinnegan, if he's taught how to control power. Now, due to Nagato being Uzumaki, Madara decides that he can actually probably unlock a lot more Rinnegan abilities, and probably be restored if he gets to learn these abilities. So this leads to first Madara wants to kill kill Nagato till Obito talks about how Kakashi is his other eye, and Obito can actually just manage with one Sharingan. He's done so for years. But they decided to find on the Hidden Leaf to look for Kakashi, find out where he is, and this leads to a fight between Nagato and Kakashi. Kakashi's a lot stronger than he is in canon because he trained with basically a Hokage level Genin for years. Plus, he's just technically a lot stronger than he is already. So he fights Pain. Well, he killed every single path of Pain, just not Yahiko or Nagato. But eventually, he cuts off one of Yahiko's legs and one of his arms. But he has pretty out of chakra. With that, Madara sleeps in, snatching Kakashi's eye and knocking him out. As Kakashi's knocked out, Yamato, who was fighting other members of the Akatsuki, he won, of course, but he's able to grab Kakashi and retreat back to the Hidden Leaf. So yeah, Madara has another eye and can awaken another Rinnegan in a bit. And then with this, we'd have just Obito. He looks into the Hidden Leaf. He found out about Danzo's arm being put on ice. So what he does, well, he tries to look for another eye. And what he does is he takes random Sharingan, and happens to be Fugaku Sharingan. We don't know about its Mangekyo abilities, but it's a Mangekyo Sharingan. He takes it, and due to him having some Hashirama or Zetsu DNA, it's already transformed into an internal Mangekyo. So Obito has two Sharingan now, one of them being Genjutsu Sharingan, trying to subdue the Nine Tails. Due to Obito being Genjutsu God already, well, it's a lot stronger than it should be. So he's already a lot stronger. Now with this, Obito gets more Senjutsu, he gets more Zetsu infused in his body, and with this, well, he awakens a lot, awakens one Rinnegan. And Nagato, well, he's left with one eye. What they do is break into a little old cell in the Konoha prison by Genjutsuing one of the guards and snatching Danzo's other eye before killing him. First they kill him, snatch his eye, give it to Nagato, and it works out so well. It works out kind of well. So, I guess. I don't know what else will happen, I guess. What do you think about this? I guess it would be just Naruto. It's just preparing for the war with the Akatsuki. We trained up all the Jinchuriki and they head back to their villages. And, well, they're now made high-ranking shinobi. But the Three Tails has left unattended. So now, it needs a Jinchuriki. Now with this kind of leads to like a tiny war between the Hidden Leaf and the Hidden Mist, but the Hidden Leaf wins in 1 hour. Pretty honestly, they win in 1 hour. So what happens is basically the Jinchuriki is selected. In the chosen Jinchuriki, well, the Jinchuriki is Kakashi. Kakashi already lost all of his power because the Sharingan was lost. So to restore more power and get a lot stronger, Kakashi is the selected Jinchuriki. They go down where the Three Tails is, and Kurama speaks to it by taking over Naruto temporarily, and this leads to the Three Tails agreeing to it. So with this, Three Tails is sealed by Kakashi, and perfectly by Naruto and Jiraiya. They team up, and Three Tails basically sealed inside permanently, I guess, or temporarily, taking in all terms. But they go to where Naruto originally trained with it, and Killer Bee would train Kakashi. Well, Naruto, he examined every single ability of the Kage. Level 5 Kage. He learned all their Kekkei. He examined notes on Mei's jutsu from Zabuza, and Zabuza basically scrapped the jutsu. But Naruto already learned that jutsu from Roshi, not realizing Mei had it. And then with Gaara willingly taught it to Naruto, and Rasa also taught Naruto how to use the gold dust technique. And then with Onoiki, that took a lot of effort to do, but Roshi able to snag a scroll from Naruto and give it to Naruto, or give it to a hidden leaf carrier pigeon, or carrier bird and give it to Naruto. And then with A, well, Killer B still kind of swore loyalty to Naruto. So Naruto is actually able to convince B to give him a scroll. I'm not going to put something under Genjutsu. He gets that scroll, and he learns Lightning Cloak. He learns basically Gaara's sand control. We'll learn Rasa's sand control, but also mixes it in with Gaara's abilities. Then we'll learn boil release and lava release. Then we'll also learn Lightning Cloak. And now he has all the abilities of the Kage. So Naruto is now currently strongest shinobi alive. Well, besides Madara. No, he's strongest shinobi alive, true. He's the strongest. You already surpassed Hashirama by mastering wood release. Using the scroll of healing. You already mastered every single Kage's jutsu in a short amount of time. He's that good. But now the Akatsuki, they've grown their army with millions of Zetsu, not millions, but hundreds, tens of thousands of members. And now, well, the war would start. A horde of Zetsu attack the weakest village, and I'm putting the weakest village as the Hidden Mist. Hidden Mist is attacked, and while Tsukasa can take down a majority of the Zetsu himself, he does so, but this leads to a lot of the power being lost. Tsukasa wins the war himself, basically. He did all of it himself. But, well, all the Zetsu may be dead, but most of the shinobi were destroyed. So Tsukasa tells Naruto the Hidden Mist was defeated, and will lead to majority of civilians being put in the Hidden Leaf. And with this leads to Naruto technically destroying the hidden Mist. The village is gone. Now Mei was not dead. Utakata saved her, and alongside Chojuro. But yeah. Now, with this, the hidden cloud is attacked by Nagato, Konan. By the way, if anybody's wondering why I said Nagato, not Yahiko. Well, they put Yahiko's corpse on ice. And well, Madara had used the King of Hell to heal Nagato's body. So Nagato would attack the hidden cloud himself, alongside Konan, and random corpses of the Path of Pain. And they're able to do this. Due to Nagato's body being a lot stronger, he's actually able to subdue Killer B. Yeah, and then well. You can't really touch Nagato, no matter how fast you are. Almighty Push is gonna beat the hell out of you. And well, he's also pinned against the Raikage Tower with chakra rods. So yeah, Killer B, his Jinchuriki still be about to be extracted, but well, a certain person would interfere. Itachi. He stabs Nagato right through the stomach, and punches him right in the face, full force, and flying. Now Konan tries to attack, but Tachi uses Susanoo, and Nagato immediately realizes something. Tachi's, well, he's not sick, he's not going blind, he's full power, he's fine. And Nagato realizes he can't win, so he retreats. But Killer B, well, he feels like he's almost dead. His utility wasn't extracted, but he's tired. He's out of chakra, he's pretty badly beaten up, but Tachi saved the hidden cloud. With Onoiki, well, he has to fight Obito, and Obito alone. Obito does just fine, honestly. Well, Obito just runs to the village and fights Onoiki, killing him. And then, well, defeats both of his guards, forget their names, but then defeats all of everybody there with just a simple fireball jutsu. That's insanely powerful. Fireball jutsu, and then just a bit of taijutsu plus genjutsu. So he won. And then with the hidden sand, well, that fight was against I have to think of this. Deidara, Sasori, and Konan. So Konan almost kills Kankuro and Tamari, but Tamari's one wouldn't really saves them both, and Kankuro's his puppets stab Konan in the leg and one in the shoulder. But then comes Sasori. He matches Sasori puppet jutsu and sheer ninjutsu. Tamari defeats Deidara herself. And Gaara defeats Konan and a majority of the Zetsu attacking. So yeah, Now eventually was left with the Hidden Leaf, but every single village had to be evacuated into the Hidden Leaf. And Naruto, well, it was pretty easy. Him and Yamato are strong wood release users, and well, there's also tons of master or earth release ninjutsu users there. The walls are collapsed, and suddenly it all expands, leaving enough room for everyone. And with this, well, Land of Fire is pretty full, but Konoha's borders are commanded. There's a lot more room for people. Now every single Kage is in one place. Well, just not Onoiki, he's a corpse. But they have a funeral for all the shinobi that were lost. But they can't like a ceremony to honor them. But now Naruto heads out on his own for a certain trip. And well, Obito's watching, told Madara where to meet Naruto. Madara did the same, waking his other Rinnegan, having 2 Rinnegan, and letting Nagato keep 1. But Nagato goes with Madara, and Path of Pain do as well. Plus around 100,000 Zetsu. And where Naruto goes is the Whirlpool Village, because they're to master the Uzumaki Jutsu, or at least try to gather everything he can. But when he arrives, he sees Madara analyzing every single scroll. Same with Nagato. When he arrives, the Zetsu attack him, but Madara and Obito want to see what Naruto can work with. Suddenly, Naruto's coated with lightning, and all the Zetsu, like near him, while they're being burned alive. Can't touch him, and suddenly a gigantic pillar of earth shoots out, with the spikes, killing 90% of the Zetsu. The last bit of them, well, they're being electrocuted and then killed. He didn't even use many hand signs, just used one, and it killed most of Zetsu. And well, to their shock, he didn't even exhaust 0.1% of his chakra. It was more like 0.0000001% of his chakra. Now, Naruto versus Nagato and Madara. So Naruto fighting Madara. As he fights Madara, well, like Zetsu's watching from a distance. As he's fighting them, well, like Zetsu eventually will actually snag Nagato's body and summon the Gedo statue. With this, they begin infusing as much chakra as they can, and before Naruto can evade, he's already pushed into one of the chakra chains, having the Nitos extracted from his body. But now we go to the Hidden Leaf. Kakashi versus Obito. Kakashi would fight Obito. He's a lot faster and stronger than he was when he had his Sharingan. He fights Obito. Well, Obito's kind of shocked. He didn't expect Kakashi to be this strong. But Kakashi, well, he mastered Obito's power. Obito can't really compare to this, because he did fight against stronger Cherokee, yes. But he got training from a professional master in Cherokee, and trained to master it and befriend it. Then eventually Urukata and Killer Bee join in, and Obito's being outmatched. And eventually with this, he's defeated, and, well, he has to retreat. When he does retreat, all that's left is, well, very bad casualties for the Hidden Leaf. The Zetsu were under them. Zetsu begins attacking them from under the ground. Kakashi's pulled under, and Obito goes at Kakashi again, using his 1 Rinnegan, and will shoves the chakra rod right into Kakashi's chest, not killing him, but the tail beast extraction does kill him. As the tail beast is extracted, well, nothing good can come from that. He's dead, and now Roshi, Killer Bee, everyone else is killed. Which is not not as extracted because he's outsmarted technically, not smarted, but very tricky move. Shoved him right into chakra chain until he's extracted from it. With that, the tentacle is summoned. Madara absorbs it, and immediately he's betrayed by Zetsu, summoning Kaguya. Kaguya is summoned. Zetsu and her refuse, and Kaguya wants to take down every single tailed beast. Not take a beast, but take down every single shinobi there. And they realize that Naruto's chakra disappeared. Well, first Ino did, and she alerted everyone else, and they think that his tailed beast was extracted. The Killer Bee, Kakashi, Roshi, Urukata, everyone. Their tailed beasts are gone. They head to the Whirlpool Village, and they defeated every single Black Zetsu there, but still, many shinobi lives were destroyed. Orochimaru meets him halfway, though. He does say he watched what happened, and Black Zetsu betrayed Madara, and they don't feel like serving Kaguya, so they'll help them. So with this, Orochimaru would summon his whole reanimated army after a bit, and when the army summoned, well, a certain person learned the reanimation jutsu. Two people, actually. Jiraiya Konohamaru. And Jiraiya is able to reanimate Minato, while Konohamaru, who had mastered it due to Naruto, summoned the other Hokage. He was died of old age, but he was summoned again. And he got stronger by age. When he summoned, well, Tobirama and Hashirama, they were a lot stronger than they were when they were alive. They trained Naruto, for God's sake. When Hashirama summoned, he's like, reanimation jutsu, huh? They looked around, saying Konohamaru and Jiraiya. And Hyushin says, so Jiraiya, Naruto taught you reanimation, huh? And that's when Hyushin sees Konohamaru, and he says, Konohamaru, what did you do? But so I'm like, wait, Naruto, what do you mean he trained them? Or taught them this? Hyushin and Minato are a little confused when they say, oh yeah, we trained Naruto. And they're kind of shocked. But that does explain his wood release. Now, Jiraiya explains the whole situation, and they're shocked that Naruto was tricked, and his sealed beast is gone. And Minato did steal half of it himself, and he does go to find Naruto. Now, Zetsu, well, he's with Kaguya, but Minato finds Naruto's corpse and teleport him all the way to a certain place inside the hidden leaf. Well, this place being his house. Now, it's pretty far away from the battlefield, and due to Naruto being a corpse, it's hard to find his chakra, like find Minato's. But too late. The other half the Nine Tails put inside Naruto. Naruto ended up waking up, but Minato doesn't go away. So with this, Naruto and Minato both teleport back to the battlefield. And well, when Tobirama was alive, he got very, very little ninjutsu training, but he mastered flying Raijin due to Naruto helping him. So with this, well, we have 3 mastered flying Raijin users, plus Hiruzen, who I think you assume may have gone really far with it. So 4 users of flying Raijin that aren't mastered, but they're good. So with this, they all 4 attack Kaguya, and it's a very good surprise for her. Naruto ended up going to KCM 2, and he punches Kaguya right in the back full force. And well, he broke it. And her flying, she hits the ground. Tachi and Sasuke would team up, shoving their swords right through Kaguya's back. Tachi can't steal her though, because Black Zetsu ends up attacking him and surprises him. Tachi uses Amaterasu and begins burning Black Zetsu, and steals him away. Kaguya, well, she hits Itachi's Susanoo with the ash killing bone marrow thing, and then tries to Sasuke, who tries to help Itachi. Sasuke disabled the Susanoo, running at Itachi. Itachi was going to be touched by Amaterasu. This pulls Itachi away, so then Itachi would see bone ash killing thing flying towards Sasuke, and blocks it from hitting him. With that, Sasuke blushes Itachi, die. Now with it, Sasuke begins crying, and well, he's depressed. But Sasuke keeps on fighting out of rage. But now Kaguya keeps attacking, and eventually with this, well, it leads to basically just a lot more power being shot everywhere. But now we go to Naruto, Kakashi, he's dead. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. But instead of being Kakashi, it's Obito. Obito and Kakashi were not equals, but Kakashi was slightly stronger, but still Obito was impressive. So as they fight Kaguya, eventually Kaguya does get a few chakra rods in her back, and Sakura, she's being a lot stronger, slams her head into the ground and begins pummeling her. And instead of being thrown in using 100 healings, she did fight Madara and was a lot stronger, but Madara still mopped the floor with her. Sonny joins in, wailing on her as well. Jiraiya joins in. Konohamaru does it using her Sengon, both on one side of her head. And then Hashirama uses strong wood release to detain her. So alongside Naruto fueling it, but coating the wood and flying Raijin symbols. Suddenly, all 4 Kage, are shot right out of it, alongside dozens of Naruto clones, plus Hiruzen, Minato, and Tobirama. They begin slashing apart Kaguya, and one more attack dealt from the whole Shinobi Alliance. So one more attack, well, it's to make sure all of them trying to get chakra together, once they all get Nine Tails chakra from Naruto. Now, all the ones that are going to put in sections that can use this kind of jutsu. He'll try Kaguya, but then Naruto, Minato, and the world's strongest wind release users, they get a plan from Naruto and they use it. Basically, just one giant vortex of wind, channeled all together, and begins being forced around Kaguya. Even our true-seeking orbs can withstand this, because Naruto and Minato are infusing Minato, and Hashirama alongside Jiraiya are infusing Sage Chakra. Naruto did not learn Hashirama's Sage Jutsu. He learned Frog Sage mode, but then all war started, so it went to hell. But yeah, they'll be using Sage Chakra to channel the wind release, and well, so this leads to Kaguya being pretty badly hurt. He's to the ground, and we see Naruto going all the Sage Chakra. Small pot shoulders. Because they get off Jiraiya's, and Naruto instantly slams his fist right on Kaguya's face, full force, using the chakra as well. All of his chakra at that. So as it's Kaguya in the face, her head's blown apart, and she's killed. Now with that Naruto in his head would meet the Sage. Sasuke was not turned into a selfie stick, but still with the Sage. They defeat Kaguya without his help. But Sasuke this time, well, Itachi, his chakra resides in Sasuke now. Sasuke's both eyes can now shoot Amaterasu. Well, they already could. Now that Amaterasu is a lot stronger. Sasuke also unlocks Blaze release. And well, with his brother's spirit wandering around, his brother was deserving of a Rinnegan, so now Sasuke would get that honor. 2 Rinnegan for Sasuke Uchiha. Now, then Naruto gets sheer chakra, and they already broke the injured Ashura cycle, so there's no need for everything else. But now, Sasuke, well, he looks at Nagato. He trusts Nagato to do the right thing. Like that's who already got off of Nagato. But Nagato, well, he still kind of backstab Madara. But Nagato would use his last wish, basically destroying the whole Geto statue, shooting the tailed beast out back into the original owners, but that doesn't help a thing. All that happens is the beast would leave the owner's body in a few hours. But then he would use basically just his last jutsu, reviving every single dead shinobi. When he does that, it works. Now with this, the Hokage leave the battlefield, and Naruto end up thanking them all. This is the only time he's met every single Hokage before. Well, the Hokage he didn't meet before death was Hashirama and Minato. He's himself too. But yeah. Now with this, the world's peaceful again. But we go to Naruto the Last. In Naruto the Last, the Hokages, well, not the Hokages, all Hokages are different. Naruto is the 5th Hokage. Okay, then Gaara's still Hokage, not all of them, I guess. Then, in the hidden stone, Roshi's the Kage. The hidden mist, Chojo's the Kage. Then for the hidden cloud, Omoi's the Kage. I chose a different Kage for no reason, to be honest. And I'm not gonna have a rap and right Kage. Even though it sounds cool, I'm not gonna have it. So they'll make a plan, do them being pretty sensible, all of them at least. Well, I guess not one way, but all of them are. They're able to come up with a good plan, and Naruto explains, with Kurama's help, he can probably bring them out of space for a temporary amount of time. So he tells the part that his plan would play, and they think it's reasonable, but the rest of them do go to the moon. What Naruto does basically is just jump in the air, and he'll channel Kurama's chakra around his body, and it kind of makes a pseudo spacesuit. What he does is basically just coat his arms in chakra, and hold the moon up and begin pushing it back. He just try that. Same people go to the moon. This time Hinata will fight Toneri. And Hinata, well, she already had one kill already, being Boruto. So that means Boruto maybe 2-3 years older, I think. But yeah. Actually no, so she didn't give birth yet. This time she fights Toneri, being a lot stronger, but Neji helps her, because he did not die. Well, he was seriously injured in the war, but he got healed over time. Mainly by Karin, Tsunade, and Sakura. Don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, so Neji, Hinata, Sasuke, and there's some they head up to the moon, and they begin fighting. So this begin fighting. They end up taking down everyone on the moon. We see all the puppets, and Neji himself actually takes down Toneri. But Hinata and Neji did team up, but Hinata was out of luck. She had the least chakra, so she kind of stopped fighting earlier. But them both being so strong, Toneri would actually take his eyes out and gives them both one Tensegon. But Neji ends, well, not Neji, I mean, Hinata ends up giving her Tensegon to Hanabi. I'm getting that. She gives it to Neji. Hanabi so insignificant. I'm not giving her Tensegon. So she doesn't get a Tensegon, but she gets her Byakugan back, and Neji's now one strong shinobi alive. Anyway, they head back to Earth, and Naruto's basically just painting. He's running out of chakra. He's been holding the moon for hours. Plus, he's running out of chakra because Kurama is. But by the time his team heads back to Earth, the chakra disperses and he falls back down to the planet. And he burns up. He's being healed constantly. So eventually, he hits the hidden leaf ground. Or he thinks he does. Kakashi saved him. Kakashi just legit shot out one of his arms in the air, coating it in chakra and catching Naruto. So yeah. Now as he's healed, as Naruto heals, he resumes his duty as Kage. He still Boruto and Himawari. I'm in this part here. I guess this is a part. It's pretty long, but the next arc, basically just the next part we'll talk about Boruto. Because it's getting interesting now. But if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment on the other part. Goodbye.